Okay, so I chose this problem to start off the day as an illustration of why I gave you the formulas the way I did. Now, you all know there's those standard cookie cutter formulas for volume and surface area. But here's a problem that does not fit any of those. But the way I defined them, it's not a very difficult problem to do. So we're going to start out finding volume. And in fact, whether we're finding volume or surface area, the first step is to find the area of the base. Now the area of the base here is in two pieces. The first piece being this rectangle. How big is that rectangle? 12 feet by... It's 8 feet across here. How did I get 8 feet across there? 20 minus 12 is 8 feet, and that's going to be split into 4 feet on each end, right? So that means that these circles each have a radius of 4 feet, which means they have a diameter of 8 feet. So it's going to be 12 by 8, which is 96 square feet. The next part is the two half circles. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together to make one full circle with a radius of 4 feet. So that radius is pi times 4 squared. Well, pi times 4 squared is 50.24 square feet. So the area of the base is found by adding the two of those together. Otherwise known as 146.24 square feet. So then, to find my volume, it's 146.24 square feet times 10 feet of height, which will give us 1,462.4 cubic feet. Being a volume, it is going to be in cubic feet. For surface area, which is what comes next, if you recall, surface area is the area of the bases plus the lateral area. But we already have the area of the bases here, 146.24. Plus another 146.24, because that's on top, right? So what we've found so far is the area of this piece on top here, and the area of the piece on bottom. What we need is the area that wraps around the sides now. Remember, for lateral area, we always peel that out, and we make it, that's called the lateral area, by the way. And if you recall, we always peel that lateral area out and make it one big rectangle. And the height of that rectangle is still the height of the total shape, 10 feet. The length of that rectangle is found, well, this here would be the part that's from the curve, right, from the circle. That's this part over here on the end. This next piece here is the straight part on the rectangle, that's right here. This next piece is another curve. That's from the end over here. And the last piece is the back side, back here. So this piece we know is 12 feet. This piece we know is 12 feet, right? These pieces are found from the circles. Now I'm not going to find them separately, because all I really need to know is this total length across here is the total distance around this whole base. In other words, as we said before, it is the perimeter of the base. Does that make sense? Remember that we can unroll that whole lateral area to make one long rectangle. Then the height of the rectangle is still the height of the shape, and the length of the rectangle is just the perimeter of the base. So the perimeter of the base here for lateral area is the 12 feet plus the 12 feet, the two straight pieces, plus these curves, which are circumference of a circle, so in fact, it's the circumference of this circle that has a radius of 4, but for circumference we use diameter, so it'll be diameter of 8. So that circumference is 8 times pi, or 25.12. So otherwise known as 49.12 feet is the perimeter of the base, which will give us the lateral area of 49.12 feet times that height of 10 feet, which is 491.2 feet squared, which will go up here, add to this list. When we add those all together, 146.24 and another 146.24, which is going to give us simply 292.48 with our 491.2. It's going to give us 783.68 square feet. That is our surface area. Does that look familiar? Did anybody come up with both of those? Anybody come up with either of those? You got the volume? The surface area is still getting you?
I didn't have the formula written down.
Okay. Yeah, the key for surface area, and it's very important, just you add together the area of the bases. Now, I wrote them out separately here, but sometimes I'll just write area of the bases, because sometimes there's only going to be one base. As we're going to see later today, we're going to have some shapes with only one base. Cones and pyramids, in other words.
Can you do area of the base times 2 plus lateral?
Yes. Yes, that works as well. But the key is that lateral area is nothing more than the perimeter of the base times the height. You can unroll the whole lateral area into one big rectangle. Let's have you guys try another one. Those are quarter circles, and each side is the same length. And yes, I know I'm cheating with my artwork. Let's say that's 20 inches, and that's 20 inches. I'm going to give you guys some time. Find volume and surface area. Now I'm going to lead you through this kind of step by step here. So I'm just going to give you a couple of minutes. What I want you to find in this next couple of minutes is the area of the base. And the base is just this shape down here. It's going to be 4 quarter circles. A little bit of a hint, 4 quarter circles can be made into 2 halves or 1 full circle. And then we've got, either you could call this a square with 4 equal rectangles, or you can call it 1 big rectangle with 2 little rectangles, however you want to look at it. But right now, in your notes, find the area of that base. So the area of the base, let's break that down. I'm going to do it this way. So this rectangle in the middle here, I should have probably given you more of that, shouldn't I? I screwed up. I thought I wrote that down. That's 12 inches in the middle. Does that help? No?
I just took 20 divided by 3.
Okay, so that's not going to work. This from here to here, I'm going to give you as 12 inches. I'll give you another minute to work on that now. Okay, so for the area of my base, piece 1 here is going to be that rectangle that's 12 inches by 12 inches. I'll label this correctly. Otherwise known as 144 inches squared. Piece 2 is going to be each of those. How big are those pieces? Well, it's 12 inches by, what's this? What's this? 4, there you go. It's 8 inches total difference between the 20 and the 12 because it's 4 inches on each side. So 12 by 4 is 48. Times 4, because there's 4 of them, 192 inches squared. And then piece 3 is going to involve these quarter circles, which is going to be pi times 4 squared, because all the quarter circles make one full circle, which is going to be 50.24, correct? So it's going to be 386.24. Does that look correct? There's 4 quarter circles. 4/4 make one whole. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What I did was 5 times 4 squared times 4 because it was 4.
Oh, yeah. If you divided by 4 to get a quarter circle, then you could have multiplied by 4 to get back to a whole one. Because there's 4/4. You would have had to divide it to get it to a quarter circle first. See, each of these right here is pi times 4 squared divided by 4. But since there's 4 of them, we're going to multiply by 4. So dividing by 4 and multiplying by 4 cancel each other out. Or we could just say, hey, we're taking those 4 quarters out, we're making one complete circle. So there's no dividing by 4, no multiplying by anything. We just pulled the pieces and put them back together. Any of you get that for the area of your base? No? Well, now I'm going to give you 30 seconds to use that to find the volume. Area of the base times height. So did you get 7,724.8 cubic inches? Good deal. So there's the volume. So really the trickiest part of this is finding the area of the base. If you can find the area of the base, you got the volume. It's just that times the height. Or if it's on that side, it's the distance between the bases. Next step. Surface area. Does this have one base or 2? 2, so it'll be the area of the base plus the area of the base again, or times 2, whatever, plus the lateral area. So the area of our base was 386.24. So we need to find our lateral area. In the process of finding the lateral area, the first thing we need to find is the perimeter of our base. Now I'm not going to do this all in order. I'm going to do it as pieces. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces that are each 12. So 12 inches times 4, that's 48 inches there. And then those quarter circles all make just one big circle with a diameter of 8 inches. So that's going to be pi times 8, or 25.12 inches, which gives us a perimeter of our base of 73.12 inches. Find the lateral area for me quick. So what are you going to take? 73.12 inches, which is the perimeter of our base, times 20 inches, which is going to be 1462.4 inches squared. Is that correct? Probably. Okay. So then you add that with the 386.24 and another 386.24, or times 2, however you want to do it. So 772.48 plus that is 2234.88, I believe, inches squared. Is our total surface area? Is that what you got? Some 2234.88?
Yep.
Perfect. What do you think? He's getting any better? Getting worse?
They're getting better. It's just these sequences that screw me up.
Okay.
Getting them all in the right order, and then
Okay, so we're going to find volume and surface area again here. No matter which one we start on, our first step is always going to be the area of the base. We're going to start on volume, but we are going to find the area of the base. What is the base of this? It is the trapezoid on the end here. Very good. How do you find the area of a trapezoid?
half the height times base plus half the height
Times.
base plus the base.
Okay. And that's one way to do it. You could add the bases and then times half the height. The way I showed you, it works either way. Is you could add the bases together and divide that by 2. You're averaging the bases times the height. Same as the formula you just said. It's just a little different. Because technically what it is you're making a rectangle, and the rectangle still has the same height, but its length is the average of the bases. But it's the same formula. So 20 plus 34 is 54. Divided by 2 is 27. Times 12 is 324 square feet. Double check me and make sure that's the same area you get for the area of the base. Okay, so that's the area of our base. Tell me how to find the volume. So 324 square feet times 30 feet, which is
9,720.
correct. So for surface area, area of the base is area of the base plus area of the base plus lateral area. So area of the base is still 324. To find the lateral area, what do I have to do first? I need to have the perimeter of the base, right? Which is the perimeter of the trapezoid. Find the perimeter of that trapezoid for me. I'll give you a hint. You're going to have to find these lengths here and here. They're going to be right triangles here and here. Maybe an a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'll let you choose. How's it looking? So you've got 20 and 34. That part's given, right? What's this length? You got 9, 12, and yes. So 9 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. 81 plus 144 adds up to 225 equals c squared. Square root them. C is 15 feet. Follow that tape. Did you guys get this one? Yeah. What'd you get? They're not the same, no. This is still 12 feet here. What's this down here? Yeah. This is 34 all the way. Minus 9 is 25. Minus 20 here, because that's a rectangle. The bottom has to be the same as the top. Because this was 5 feet. So that one's going to be 5 squared plus 12 squared equals c squared. Or 25 plus 144 equals 169 is c squared. Square rooting gives us 13 feet for c. So that all adds up to a perimeter of a base of what? 82 feet. You got it. Use the shift x2 or second x2. So now that you've found the perimeter of the base, find the lateral area. I'll give you a minute to do that. 40 seconds to do that. So that lateral area is 82 feet times 30 feet, otherwise known as 2,460 square feet, which is going to go up here. So if we add that whole mess all together, it's going to be 3,108 square feet. Perfect. We're going to take a break a couple minutes early here. We'll come back at 1:27.